What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, all that beautiful YouTube stuff. I hope that today is the day we earn that subscription, because every little algorithm that you do, that you interact with, it's only together that we can go straight to the moon, baby. Okay, let's remember that. Let's remember that. No, seriously, guys. Thank you all for coming, the new viewers, returning viewers, future viewers. I hope that we can entertain you. Whatever it is, make you feel something here at the channel. Today, though, we're going to wrap up our review of Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. We've been following this series for over a year and a half now. And it's done. It was a 15-issue limited series written by Jason Aaron and put out by Boom Studios, and basically shows us a love story in the apocalypse over decades, that spans over decades, between Esmeralda and Maceo. They met when they were teenagers, and then it just went from there. This is each 5-issue story is divvied up into books of 5 issues, and this particular book is called Night Even If You're the Last Person on Earth. This issue is entitled As Yet Untitled is the name of this particular issue. Of course, written by Jason Aaron, illustrated by Nick Dragato, colored by Rico Renzi. Flashback sequences are Alexandre Tefenji and Lee LaRidge. Leela Del Duca, Tamara Bonvillain. Everyone basically who worked on this series on the past 14 issues. Each arc has come back to draw their parts and illustrate their parts of the series. I want to show you the cover here. I think the cover is really nice. I even like that there's little liver spots on the arm here of Esmeralda, indicating her age. Basically, what has happened is Esmeralda and Maceo, in their travels and making love and all these things as a couple, traveling the wastelands together, they decided to start a city of love called Gobanoza. And because of some sort of mist that was happening, it altered people's minds and emotions to where basically the whole community went wild, and basically there was only a few survivors out of it, including Esmeralda and Maceo. Um, this drove them to separate from each other and live a very solitude life. Esmeralda restarted the Wasteland Rangers. The Wasteland Rangers were initially ran by Ma. That's how we met Esmeralda. That's how we first met Esmeralda, because she was trying to escape from the Wasteland Rangers. She wanted a better life. She felt like there was a better path than just a path of anger. That's where she meets Maceo in his tower, who's living alone, basically with the corpses of his parents in their bedroom. Uh, he decides to follow her once she leaves, because he feels like it's time to be out on his own. They again fall in love, start the city, and separate. Uh, Again, Esmeralda starts a new Wasteland Rangers, and Maceo basically continues his inventions and living as a throuple with another man and woman. They wind up perishing in the ensuing, because he had them go to the hills, but those hills wound up being destroyed. And I'd have to say, for the most part, Esmeralda and Maceo uh, figured out that as much as they were angry with each other, this issue is pretty brutal. That they needed each other, they love each other still, even with the anger, even with the hard feelings. Uh, you can still love each other. You can still be there for each other. And Esmeralda finally realizes that she was wrong in allowing herself to be separated by Maceo for so long. And together they destroy the engine, so to speak, the power source, so it can save the world. And they do. They save the world. They save the world. And um, where there was the initial divide, this is what they're fighting for, like peace, just being able to be Adam and Eve with their people. Uh, you know, just basically what you want to do with your loved one at the end of the world. Even though they are now living separately, still they kind of are neighbors, and they talk about rekindling to themselves or reading their inner thoughts. I thought this was a very nice two-page piece about how we need our space, basically, but we'll always uh, have feelings for each other, always be there for each other, and that's kind of where this story ends. It ends with them saving the world, remembering who they were, and remembering what they meant to each other. And I think that at the end of the day, this is a perfect encapsulation of a relationship over decades. Um, Love is complicated, and it will remain complicated as long as you love people, unless you totally withdraw yourself from everybody, and that's not good either. What happens is when we're so stuck in our ways and don't want to admit that there's another way, that's where the butting of the heads happens. And I think that at the end of the day, this story shows that you can still, if you love someone enough, you can learn how to communicate with them enough to learn how to compromise for each other. Loving each other, loving someone is hard. Loving someone despite their flaws and what they do, things that you wouldn't do that they do, and being accepting of that is hard sometimes. It is. And I think that the point of this is if we allow our feelings to fester, that will ruin the relationship, any relationship. But if we're up for talking and communicating, there's still always a chance of redeeming that relationship, continuing that relationship, and building that relationship. Now, as the series itself, in a general sense, I thought that the story was a bit slow in the middle, and I could have dealt without all the um, orgies, so to speak, I guess, right? I mean, maybe I'm just being an old man about that part of like, I didn't need to see, like, 5 issues of orgies and all this stuff, but it's interesting that Esmeralda brought up about how all that lovemaking there was no children made. I did wonder that myself, like, how is no one getting pregnant? But I guess the simple explanation is that because of all the, I guess, radiation and the filth and the waste of generational living in an apocalypse, made people infertile. So the end of the world is going to come anyway, for people if they're unable to reproduce. So that's another way that we can lose this planet, I guess, without it being actually destroyed by weapons or Mother Nature herself. So I'm glad they kind of touched on that a little bit near the end because I guess that was something they didn't really think of to explain. And it's amazing how all the people during those 5 issues of Golganoza, how everyone was just so beautiful, right? There's not one ugly person in those orgies. But I joke, I kid, I'm being silly about that. Um, I'm all for free expression of love if people are consenting adults, like enthusiastic, consensual agreements, you know. But as a total of this series, it does pick up near the end. This last this last issue had a lot of action in it, and I think that if you're a Jason Aaron fan and you like love stories with action, I think that you'll enjoy this series. I'm kind of glad the series is done because there's really not much more to be said for these characters, especially when they spend decades of their lives together or intertwined, and that they showed that. There's really not much more to this particular story uh, to be said. Now, if you want to do a spin off of what the Wasteland Rangers were like before Esmeralda was a member of them, that could be an interesting series. Maybe not 15 issues worth of a series, but I could see maybe 1 or 2 spin offs coming from this. But I think that for the most part, Jason Aaron should just leave this property alone, or Boom Studios more specifically, being that I just am not sure what else can be said for the story. But let me know down below what you think of this particular series and if there should be a sequel, not a sequel to the series, or anything like that. Should they wrap it up and keep it wrapped up? Um, Let me know down below. And until next time, guys, peace, schnookums.